guys, thanks for joining me once again on this riding adventure. I'm actually in the back of Myrtleford. If any of you out there have been to Myrtleford before, there's some amazing tracks you can find between, well, really anywhere, but between Myrtleford and Bright. Some of the fire trails there, and where they're doing a lot of the pine forestation is, yeah, just some really good riding. And as you can see in this video, this is sort of the tail end of our ride, and my old man and myself, yeah, we're out for about 2 hours, and managed to get a whole lot of drone footage on this trip as well. But this is just one of the more scenic areas, and apologies for some of the footage where I'm staring at the tank, but yeah, this is just one of the scenic areas back, sort of a bit closer to town just before we hit home. Yeah, some of the tight tracks you can find, like as you can see, I'm riding a WR450 at the moment, and you know, it's a fairly heavy bike. It's kind of set up for the road. You know, if there is a motocross bike set up for the road, it's certainly a WR. But yeah, it's loving these tight little tracks. I mean, I'm about 100 kilos, and yeah, this bike's just whipping around the corners really easily, and you know, I'm really enjoying myself here. So yeah, how the bike's set up, I'll just touch on that. The bike is really stock. It's a 2015 Yamaha WR450F, and I think my old man's done a couple of things, de-restricted it. They come out restricted from the shop, from the factory. So it's given a little bit more power, and the thing just lifts the front wheel up whenever you give it a little blip on that throttle. It's an absolute weapon. But other than that, the thing is fairly stock, and you know, you don't have to do much to make these bikes go well. They go really well straight out of the shop, and you know, evident by, and even I'm riding pretty slowly here and just navigating these tight corners, but I guess that's a great thing about them, is that you can have the best of both worlds. Plenty of power, front wheel lifts, but for someone of my size, as I said, 100 kilos, I'm about 6'1", I can navigate, you know, tight little corners and whatnot with no troubles. I do see a few reviews out there of people finding these bikes fairly big, but you know, I've got no issues with my height. The bike is about 120 kilos dry, obviously a little bit more, you know, stock full of fuel and oils and those sorts of things. But you know, I find the weight of the bike is not an issue for me. But you know, some people out there might find that, and you know, might choose to go the option of a 250 instead of a 450. But yeah, this bike for me, and although it's not mine, it's my old man's bike. You know, I really enjoy riding it. You know, I harp on my DRZ, which is a different experience to this. It certainly doesn't have the power of this bike, but you know, I'll always love my DRZ for the road, and you know, a bit of the best of both worlds. But you know, if you do want to go that extra power and you know, a little bit more maintenance for the WR, like any bike, you know, you do have to, you know, make sure you're maintaining your bikes. But yeah, you sort of get a bit of the best of both worlds with the WR as well. What my old man's riding in front of me, he's riding a YZ, so another Yami. I don't remember the exact year of it. It's a bit older. It's a YZ400, and yeah, it's a bit of a weapon, that thing, actually. Yeah, to start the bike, it uses a decompression lever. For those of you out there that know what that is, essentially just allows you to start the bike. It's got that much power, and it needs the decompression lever. So yeah, another weapon of a bike, that thing. My old man reckons it's quicker, and it's certainly more maneuverable than the WR, being that it's really just a motocross bike. But yeah, it's got the decompression lever, which makes it a little bit harder to start, but yeah, once you get the thing going, it's got a lot of power. So yeah, a bit of fun on the Yammies this afternoon, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty more of these sort of rides to come. But stay tuned, and we'll see you soon. Cheers, guys.